going on, guys? Arekkz here, welcome back to another Anthem video, and today we're going to be taking a look at a really awesome Masterwork weapon called Avenging Herald. This is a Masterwork heavy pistol. It's incredibly powerful, very potent, and in the grand scheme of things, something you can get kind of early on in your endgame journey, so it's definitely worth paying attention to. So if you do enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below if you have any questions, and if you haven't already entered our giveaway for a chance to win a custom built PC courtesy of the guys over at box.co.uk, then be sure to click the link in the description box down below to enter. Now, to begin with, if you guys saw my video on looting the other day, then you'll know that early endgame, when you approach level 30 and you begin getting your first Masterworks, when you're playing in hard mode, you have access to a limited pool of Masterworks. This gives you a taste as to some of the cool loot you can get, and then when you go into Grandmaster, you get access to everything. Now, the cool thing about the Avenging Herald is that it comes in this initial loot pool, so you can actually get it by playing hard mode. Of course, it's still a random drop, but it's definitely something worth paying attention to. Now, this weapon, as you can see here, is a Masterwork heavy pistol. It's an upgraded blastback, which is one of the core pistol types, and even before I speak about the perks or the specs and whatnot, heavy pistols in general are just really strong in Anthem. Now, keep in mind, heavy pistols can only be used by the Interceptor, the Storm, and the Ranger. They cannot be used by the Colossus, since the Colossus can use the heavy weapons, but it can't use the tiny pistols, so to speak. But it is still very potent. Heavy pistols just hit really hard. Yes, they do have limited range because of course they are pistols, so you do have a fair amount of damage fall off, but if you're using things in close range, then these, even if you're not using a Masterwork one, are just a great choice of weapon. However, this one specifically, the Avenging Herald, has a rather interesting bonus. Raptor's Deadeye. Hovering increases weapon damage by 200%. Now this is a whopping damage boost because if you factor in that, as mentioned, heavy pistols are already a very strong weapon type, you then factor in an additional 200% weapon damage on top. This is a very good weapon for taking out trash mobs, for ripping through shields, for attacking weak points, for basically shooting anything in the game. Now keep in mind that in order to use this, you have to be physically hovering. It doesn't work if you just jump, it doesn't work if you are falling, it only works if you are actively hovering, and while every single javelin can hover, it goes without saying that this is especially good for Storm. Since the Storm is the javelin that can hover in the air for the longest, it's the javelin that should be hovering, given that that's your kind of best play style, it's how you'll survive longer, so for Storm players, this is actually an exceptional choice. Yes, admittedly, the heavy pistol does require you to be a bit closer, which perhaps isn't inherently a great strategy for Storm, but regardless, if you're hovering and use this weapon, you're dealing a whopping amount of damage. Now on top of that, don't forget that you also have Inscriptions, and Inscriptions are randomly rolled, and you can just get flat damage increases like plus 5% weapon damage, as you can see in this situation, on top. So when you factor in, you have the base damage of the weapon, you have your Inscription, which can, if you get lucky with the roll, increase that, and you then have the damage boost from hovering. All of these together are a genuinely powerful recipe. Now keep in mind, outside of using these weapons normally, if you want to deal with, say, like an enemy that has a shield, you'll typically pair it with the relevant element. So, you know, lightning and frost is good at taking down bubble shields, or you have fire and acid for more physical shields. But this weapon here, even though it doesn't, you know, dish out those elements, is just a really powerful thing at ripping through shields. So if you don't necessarily have the matched element, then this is something that you can definitely lean into. And again, to kind of reiterate what I mentioned at the beginning, this is in the initial loot pool of Masterwork. So from our testing so far, from the kind of weapons that we've encountered thus far, this is definitely one of the best weapons you can get, one of the best early Masterwork weapons you can get before you start factoring in legendaries and the entire Grandmaster loot pool. So if this comes your way, you see this drop, definitely check it out, because it is for sure a weapon you won't want to miss. But that, my friends, is pretty much it. That was just a quick look at the Avenging Herald, one of the best Masterworks we've encountered so far. I will be following up with more videos showing you guys some of the other stuff, because we've got some pretty cool loot so far, and our journey is just beginning. If you guys have got anything cool yourself, then let me know in the comments down below, but otherwise be sure to keep it locked for plenty more Anthem content. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to check out some more awesome stuff from us here at Arekkz Gaming, then you should definitely try to catch 269 and Paradise Central streaming 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. They play a wide range of games, and what's more, we also have the endgame store. By watching their streams, you earn currency, and you can redeem that currency on the endgame store for really cool prizes. Those can range from things like games, comics, and figures, all the way up to controllers, capture cards, and even consoles. So definitely drop by and become part of the community. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure you're subscribed and be sure to click on that little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss our next upload. You can watch more videos by clicking on the options here, but once again, thanks very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.